What if I told you college football just crossed a line so dangerous that even Dabo Swinney finally snapped? And what he revealed could blow up the entire transfer portal system. Because this isn't about one linebacker. This is about whether college football still has rules at all. Dabo Swinney didn't whisper this. He didn't hide behind sources. He didn't leak it anonymously. He walked straight to the microphone and said it with his chest. If you tamper with my players, I'm turning you in. Period. And when Dabo Swinney, the face of old-school college football values, is openly comparing nil tampering to having an affair on your honeymoon, you know something has gone seriously wrong. This story starts with a name most fans didn't know 2 weeks ago. Luke Ferrelli, a linebacker, a transfer, and suddenly, the most explosive symbol of everything broken in modern college football. Ferrelli entered the transfer portal on January 2nd. 4 days later, Clemson lands him. Not just a commitment, enrollment, classes, meetings, workouts. He was in the building. He was in the program. In Dabo's mind, that meant the recruitment was over. Done. Lock. End of story. But college football doesn't work like that anymore. On January 22nd, Ferrelli re-enters the transfer portal. And then comes the bombshell. He commits to Ole, Mississippi. Just like that. After already being a Clemson player in every way that mattered except the jersey on Saturday. That's when Dabo Swinney knew this wasn't business as usual. This wasn't buyer's remorse. This wasn't a kid changing his mind. This was tampering. According to Swinney, Ole Miss defensive coordinator Pete Golding stayed in contact with Ferrelli even after he enrolled at Clemson. Not vague interest, not indirect feelers, direct communication, text messages, including one line that sent shockwaves through the sport. I know you're signed, but what is your buyout? That sentence right there is why this story matters. Because if that's true, then the transfer portal isn't just chaotic. It's lawless. Dabo didn't immediately go nuclear. That part matters. He tried to handle it quietly, professionally, internally. He told Clemson general manager Jordan Sorrells to give Golding some grace. Golding was newly promoted. Lane Kiffin had just left. Chaos happens. Maybe it was a mistake. So Clemson reached out to Ole, Mississippi. Not to threaten, not to expose, just to say we know what's going on. Stop it. If it continues, we're going to the NCAA. Dabo thought that would end it. It didn't. According to Swinney, Ferrelli's agent confirmed that Golding kept reaching out, still pushing, still applying pressure. That's when Clemson asked for the receipts, screenshots, messages, proof. And here's where this story turns from scandal to something darker. Swinney says the agent told Clemson that if they added a second year at $1 million to Ferrelli's nil deal, then the agent would gladly hand over whatever they needed to turn Ole Miss in. Read that again. Pay more money, and we'll give you the evidence. Clemson said no. That decision might end up costing them a player, but it bought them credibility, because instead of playing the game, Dabo Swinney decided to flip the board. He went public. He sent the evidence to the NCAA, and he dared the system to do something about it. This is where Dabo's NFL comparison cuts the deepest. He said you can't sign with the Browns, practice for a week, then have the Dolphins call and offer more money and just walk. In the real world, there are contracts, penalties, consequences. College football has none. And that's why this isn't really about Pete Golding, or Ole Mississippi, or Luke Ferrelli. It's about what happens when incentives exist without enforcement. The NCAA responded quickly, at least on paper. Vice President of Enforcement John Duncan said the association will investigate any credible allegations of tampering and expects full cooperation. That sounds serious, but fans have heard that line before. Clemson Athletic Director Graham Neff went a step further. He said the NCAA was surprised a school came forward this directly and transparently. That alone tells you how rare accountability has become. Neff made it clear this wasn't about revenge. Clemson isn't trying to burn Ole Miss to the ground. They want reform. They want rules that actually work. And if that requires legal action, Clemson is prepared to explore its options. Dabo Swinney was even more blunt. He said he doesn't want anyone on his team who doesn't want to be there. That's not the point. The point is the next kid, the message being sent. What happens if blatant tampering is allowed to happen with zero consequences? Because right now, the message is simple. There are no rules, only leverage. Swinney also unloaded on the January transfer portal window, calling it stupid. His word, not mine. He said it creates flat-out extortion. Players are making life-changing decisions in the middle of bowl games. Coaches are recruiting while preparing for playoffs. Agents are applying pressure. Everyone is rushing, and chaos wins. But the most haunting part of Dabo's rant wasn't about football at all. He warned that if this system doesn't change, we're going to have screwed up 30-year-olds. No degrees. No money left. No football careers. No connection to anything. Kids chasing short-term payouts without long-term protection. That's not an anti-player argument. That's a system failure argument. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Dabo Swinney is the last person many fans expected to lead this fight. For years, he resisted NIL. He defended the old model. He preached development culture, loyalty. Some fans mocked him for it. Now, suddenly, his worst fears are playing out in real time. This story forces a question college football has avoided. If players are employees in everything but name, where are the contracts? If NIL is free market, where are the guardrails? If tampering is illegal, who enforces it? Because right now, the answer seems to be no one. Ole Miss has stayed silent. No response. No denial. No explanation. And sometimes silence is louder than anything else. If the NCAA finds evidence of tampering, this could set a precedent. Fines, scholarship reductions, recruiting restrictions, or it could quietly disappear like so many investigations before it. That outcome matters more than people realize. If nothing happens, then Dabo's warning becomes prophecy. The transfer portal becomes open season. Commitments mean nothing. Enrollment means nothing. And the only currency that matters is who can offer more, faster, and quieter. If something does happen, then Clemson just became the program that forced college football to look in the mirror. Either way, the damage is already done. Trust between programs is eroding. Players are caught in the middle. Coaches are forced to recruit their own rosters year-round. This is the future unless something breaks. And maybe that breaking point just arrived. So here's the real question for you. Not whether Dabo was right to go public. Not whether Ole Miss crossed the line. But whether college football can survive this version of itself without contracts, enforcement, or accountability. Because if this keeps going, today it's a linebacker. Tomorrow it's your star quarterback. Drop your take in the comments. Was Dabo right to expose this publicly? Or did he just open Pandora's box that college football can't close again?